First game on.
All right then, Gezi, Wade 2. Let's have it.
Well, that result, that defeat for Gerwyn Price in the Premier League the other night means he needs to pick up at least 3 points and hope other results go his way as well if he's to make it into the playoffs at the O2 Arena. His final 2 matches are against Daryl Gurney and Peter Wright in Sheffield and Leeds respectively.
That game against Gurney on Thursday is going to be awesome. So much on the line. So much could be decided potentially in Sheffield. But I like the fact that there are so many permutations that can happen and take us to Leeds and for things to go to the wire. That's what we want. That's what we like about the Euro Tour, because everything is down to the wire every game. It's clinical.
Well, away from the Premier League, these two have had a very productive time of it of late. In fact, you can really stretch it back to 6 or 7 months in both cases as well. For Price, there was that one weekend in February where he won back-to-back Players' Championship titles. And these are 2 of the leading lights in the Players' Championship Order of Merit right now as well. Gurney is second with £32,000, £6,000 behind the leader at this moment, James Wade. They have been the dominant forces on the Pro Tour circuit this year. Not a dead cat, very much alive and kicking.
It's a good 20. Tops. Oh, that's wonderful. What a dart from Gezi Price. Now, I think that is something in his game that he is going to have to really practice and make sure that he knows what he's got to do in those spots. When he's got 80, if he gets to 60, it's all well and good, he goes down to double 10. But he gets a high 20. When he goes for the 60, all of a sudden he's got to get another single and then find an angle for tops. You can see from the angles of those 3 darts that he has things in his way. So he's got to find a game plan, whether it's got to go left or right side of the single. He's got a situation there that's a lot more complicated than, say, Sulevic has a flat dart. He can go anywhere he wants and not have anything in the way. But those upright darts of Gezi's, it's got to be really sharp, and that 80 checkout was brilliant.
96.
Gerwyn Price, also a UK Open semi-finalist in March of this year. He's had a really good time of it of late. 3 times a quarter-finalist on the Euro Tour this year as well. He was a champion in Riesa in September of last year. Wade will not take out the 170, but James Wade likewise has been on an incredible run of form.
41.
He will not like that one. Gerwyn Price will love it. Can he take advantage? Another 57. Brilliant. Real pressure on the 129 now.
Yeah, excellent timing once again from Gerwyn Price. That has been a feature of his tournaments in the main.
That was the right thing to do for me. 2 double 18s in that spot. But I'm not sure about going for the double 18 with the last dart. Maybe he thinks the leg's over. It is. And do not leave Gezi Price on tops in this tournament. His doubling in the whole event has been dynamic. Look at that for the event, 82%. You don't see better than that.
Yeah, 6 out of 7 against Henderson, 6 out of 8 against Labanauskas earlier today. He admitted himself that his scoring hasn't been quite where he wants it to be, but it doesn't really matter, I suppose, if you are finishing in the way that he is. And that was a 14-dart break of throw as well, so...
Well, all he needs is one chance when he's doubling like this.
If you are putting in 14-dart breaks and you are just
92.
having one chance, that is all you need. I mean, he had another dart in hand there as well, but... yeah, that has been pretty exemplary from Gerwyn Price so far this weekend.
100.
Not quite so for James Wade on the finishing, although he has claimed a couple of big scalps, Mervyn King and Mencior Sulevic. And it was a 102.8 average against the Austrian #1 as well.
Yeah, it was a good performance that in difficult conditions, but sneakily I think James likes playing in Austria. Maybe he's found somewhere where he can really be himself. I mean, look at the win in the Multiversum the end of last year to win the World Series finals.
Yeah, one of 5 tournaments he's won in the past 6 months. The World Series of Darts Finals, as you've mentioned. European champion, of course, James Wade. He's had those successes on the Pro Tour as well. And who knows, maybe another Euro Tour title is coming his way.
He had one of these
once
earlier.
Again.
136.
He hit it plumb earlier against Sulevic. He wasn't far away this time. Oh, that is a miss. Now he needs a treble from nowhere. And he is irate that he hasn't got a shot at a double from 76. Oh, that's a big double 10 from James Wade. Just manages to cling in there, somewhat typically Wadey, and manages to get a break, a throw back, and Price is probably still stirring from not getting a double shot from 76 in that leg.
Typical James Wade, and doing it when his opponents had failed to establish a single dart at a double from that position of being on 76. The single 5 really did all the damage.
That's the thing, Rob, when you've got things like 74, 76, 78, 80, 82, if you don't get a shot at a double at that visit, it really does make you mad. And it's your own fault. It's nobody else's fault. It's Wadey trying to up the ante on the scoring, which has been the key to his success in 2019. He's scoring, I think, the best that he has in possibly 11 years.
140.
No massive statistics from back in 2007, 2008. But he was hitting a lot more 9-darters back then. And he was a lot more dangerous, I think, in the last couple of years. But he's starting to find things now. And double top for an 11. 10s for a 12.
62.
He will be back.
Well, he does sometimes miss double 10, does James Wade?
I don't think he's as prolific on it now as he used to be.
20.
Well, he's going to have to be prolific on it here, and he is with his first dart in hand. That was bang in the centre of it as well, and we're level at 2 apiece. And this has been a good start to this match. We had the early break for Gerwyn Price, quickly cancelled out by James Wade with that 15-dart break in reply straight away. And Wade back on terms very swiftly again.
It may be not the same standard of darts that we saw in the quarterfinals last week, which were probably the best cluster of quarterfinals I've seen on the Euro Tour. But so far we have had 2 6-5s. So who's to say that we won't have them all going the distance?
Well, I mentioned the point before, but if you weren't with us then I'll mention it again. Gerwyn Price has been involved in 3 European Tour events this year. He's lost in the quarterfinals on each occasion, and every time the score has been 6-5. So I'm pretty sure we will go the distance. Gerwyn will be hoping for a different outcome this time around. He was the marginal outsider for this one just prior to the start of play. He was even money or so pretty much across the board. James Wade was available at 5-4 on, and I think that's
100.
a fairly diplomatic way of pitching it up. Given what happened on Thursday, I think that was probably a big factor for the bookies when they priced that one up.
Yeah, I think that's pretty fair. But at the minute, Gezzy's just having that little wry smile on his face because his scoring has just started to lapse a little bit. He needs to find something to get him screaming, and I think that's what's been missing from this match so far. He's waiting for that big moment. It could be now.
Well, it may well have to be now as well, because Wade is ready to pounce on 70.
137.
I think if he'd have hit the 51, you might have heard something. Great treble 10. Great tops. Typical Wade. Gets the lead for the first time. Wins 3 legs in a row. That's a second break in those 3 legs. He's now in the driving seat, and he loves being in a driving seat, does Wadey. In fact, he likes to be in the driving seat. Doesn't mind being under the car either, but that's not about fixing things right now. It's about going forward, and the standard in this game has been brilliant. Nothing over 5 visits.
Yeah, 15-dart break and a 14-dart break either side of that 13-dart holder throw. They are very, very eye-catching statistics for James Wade. Really good consistency behind the Wade throw at the moment.
60.
Yeah, very even on the first 9.
58.
And a much better standard than the previous 2 matches in the quarterfinals. We expected this one to deliver. It is so far.
60.
Well, Gerwyn 2 out of 2 on his double so far, so if he can get into position, you'd have to be fearful for James Wade, or you'd have to fear for James Wade, because the finishing so far has been strong from Gerwyn Price, but he did have that rather scratchy leg last time around.
Yeah,
where his scoring just seemed to desert him a little bit.
It's just coming together a little bit more now for Gezi. Lovely switch to the 19s to leave the big fish.
Uruguay 170.
Why are some of these shots in our great sport all named after animals? We've got a dead cat, big fish. Mind you, 26 is...
74.
It's the breakfast shot, isn't it?
B&B.
Yeah, B&B.
Because it used to be 2 and 6.
That's right.
Traditionally, wherever you went.
105.
Well, Wheely's left 76, which Gezi couldn't convert earlier. Can he convert 96? He's done the same thing again. He hasn't got a shot at a double.
76.
He hit the same spot in the 5 as he did when he had the 76. And Wheely is looking to clean up. He's had a flyer on the 60 shot there, but tops.
56.
He's under it.
Uruguay 20.
Well, despite that slip up from Gerwyn Price a few moments ago, he may yet steal this leg. It may well be a break back for Gerwyn Price, and it is. And James Wade will be kicking himself about that, because that was a really good chance just to press home the advantage, just to move on, take another giant stride. And that's just got Gerwyn Price back on track. And once again, you have to say, Paul, the finishing, it's there.
140.
It is.
And that's the concern for James Wade. He has to keep Gerwyn Price at bay. He has to keep him away from the doubles. And that's not going to be easy.
It's not, because there is no defence in darts. He's got to beat him with offence.
Yeah, attack is the best form of defence, I suppose, in darts.
Imagine if he could have defence in darts. Imagine what fun we could have with that.
60.
See the angle of Wadey's darts.
83.
It's a little flatter than Gerwyn Price. I think Gerwyn's is one of the most upright darts in the game. It's one of the reasons why he's such a heavy scorer, usually anyway, because he can gather them together. James has got to throw them a little harder. He's not going to leave a finish from 3-1-8, so Gerwyn Price has turned us around in the middle part of this game.
Well, Gerwyn Price will remember all too well that it was here a little over a year ago that he made the final against Johnny Clayton. Lost out on that occasion, but he didn't have to wait long for his first European Tour title. Just a matter of 5 months later in Riesa, he was able to do the honours and overcome Simon Whitlock for the International Darts Open. But he's back for more this weekend. And he's missed the single 18, or the 18s anyway, that again would have given him a chance. Just now at 52, you'd still fancy him to return with Wade on 160, but with Wade, you just never know.
Oh,
with Wade, you just never know.
Took his time on that second dart. It just seemed to... It's almost like he was on pause. Now, can he finish double top? Oh, the first time that I've seen him in this tournament miss a visit. Wadey's going to get 1 at tops. That is massive. It's an 18 dart break of throw. Unbelievable.
But sometimes I wonder, James Wade has to be one of the best players in the business in terms of really capitalising on players' misfortune and players' mistakes. There we see it. His finishing this weekend, Gerwyn Price, has been pretty exemplary. And yet his first failure to finish off with one particular visit, 3 darts in hand, doesn't take it. And Wade just steps in and hoovers up. He is ruthless, James Wade, at times.
Gerwyn Price will be thinking, how am I 4-3 down? I turned this thing around. I was 3-2 down. I had him. Should have the lead. And now he's got to do it all over again.
140.
I think there's a bit more meat in that throw at the minute. I think there may be a little bit of aggression. It's a bit like having a 3-putt and then on the next tee you just hit the ball as hard as you can. I wouldn't like to speak to Gezzy when he's in full bad mood mode.
64.
Beast mode.
Yeah, I think his beast mode would be rather beasty.
3 breaks to 2 in this match. It's been that sore Southern encounter. But maybe James Wade can take a vice-like grip on this one now. Just had a quick look to see where Gerwyn Price was. Saw he was on 167. And once again, Gerwyn Price strays into the 5s with that first dart.
95.
Now, it would have been a big ask anyway, but Wade can make his move now. 56 he needs, so he's looking at tops once again. And it's unerring accuracy on that double top. You have to just stand back and admire James Wade. His finishing at times, I think, is really, really impressive. In high-pressure situations, with Price ready to make his move, he has to be absolutely certain. And there we see the checkout percentages have actually levelled up to 50% apiece now, but it was that first failure at a complete visit for Gerwyn Price in leg 7 that perhaps proved the real turning point in this one.
Well, in this juncture as well, you've got to fancy James Wade as probably the favourite to make the final, because the winner of this one plays Steve Beaton or Ian White, and on current form you'd probably have James Wade as the favourite of those 3, but you can't say that Gerwyn Price is out of this game. He can win 3 legs in a row against James, but there's been a lot of frustrating darts for Gezzy in this match. A lot of darts just on the other side of the wire. Been really tight for him, but a couple of mistakes on finishes like 76 and 96 have cost him huge.
Yeah, both occasions he failed to get down to a single, or failed to establish a dart at a double in those 2 legs, in legs 3 and in leg 6.
96.
Although the one in leg 6 didn't ultimately matter because he won the leg anyway. But the one in leg 3 mattered, and it was the first break of throw for James Wade. And that's what set the ball rolling for him. And all of a sudden, Wade was adrift in this one, but he's challenging once again.
That's more like it for Gezzy. Great chance created. And now he has to break him. So it's 1 down, 2 to go. And James was lurking there on 103. And I think that 100 checkout should not be underestimated. Made it look very easy. Is Gezzy back in the zone? Showing a little bit of frustration in front of James that he can see. Is that the encouragement that James needs to get over the line in this leg? Well, no trebles in the first 6 darts tells a story. It's getting a bit edgy.
Well, there's 1 treble for Gerwyn. Can't quite tell. No, it wasn't a second one either.
Oh, he just livid with the 85 when you've got the 60 in the first dart. And there's one out of the board for James.
Yeah, that will look good to me, but he's made amends with the second one, or the third one, I should say.
Excellent darts from the Welshman. First dart covered the 60, perfectly switched. But it's all in the hands of the Aldershot ace. 2 trebles needed from Gerwyn Price. They need to be big. Doesn't get anything, comes up short.
Well, he's left himself a finish. It's a big finish, but James Wade is looking at 128 here. That hasn't found its target. That has, however. Bullseye here for Wade. My word, that was close.
When he misses the ball, he doesn't miss it by much. This has got to go. That wasn't far away.
Well, James Wade 2 darts away from a place in the semi-finals here in Austria, and James Wade, wouldn't you just know it, on double 10 seals the deal and wraps up a 6-4 win. A second defeat of Gerwyn Price in the matter of days.